So the question is, how can we do high volumes of high quality work? And the only way is to do it in what's called deep work mode, as Cal Newport talks about in his book. We have to do deep work in order to move forward, in order to do great things. There is no other way. So the question is how to do deep work. How can we do deep work? I'll give you 5 keys and 1 bonus key. So make sure to stick around till the end, okay? The first key is to ritualize your deep work. Ritualize it to the point where you know where exactly will you do the work. Don't be inconsistent with your work environment or location. Also ritualize how long will you work. Make it consistent. Also ritualize how you will work once you start. How will you start your work? What's the start ritual? How will you manage your distractions? What's your end ritual? What kind of breaks will you take? Not social media and email browsing breaks, right? You're going to take real replenishing breaks. The key is to operate like a pro athlete or a CEO. You know that the work you are doing is important and it must be ritualized. The second key to doing deep work is scheduling your deep work. Put it on your calendar and follow through on your commitment. You see, it's not about how good your intentions are when you set that commitment on your calendar. The only thing that truly matters is, did you follow through on your committed time slots for deep work? You have to schedule your deep work like a pro athlete. Can you imagine the greatest athletes out there just showing up for practice randomly whenever they feel like it? Doesn't work like that. You have to schedule in your deep work. You have to schedule in that practice work, that deep practice, or whatever you want to call it. So I want to give you a little challenge. Look at your calendar from yesterday. How many hours of deep work did you really do? You see, those hours of deep work will really quantify. They are the true indicator of how much future progress you will really make. Your yesterday shows the truth of what your future will be like. There are no excuses here. Look at your calendar from yesterday and ask yourself, how many hours of deep work did you really do? Uninterrupted focus, not in dribs and drabs of time, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. No, uninterrupted, focused, deep work. How many hours did you do that? You'll be shocked when you look at the calendar from yesterday or the day before. You'll be shocked at what the truth is. And in order to schedule your deep work, you must drain the shallows. You see, the more time you schedule for deep work, the more you drain away the time you spend on your shallow work. In your schedule most of your time for deep focus work sessions every single day, day in and day out. Okay. The third key to doing deep work is to use deadlines. One of the great practitioners of this was Teddy Roosevelt. He was extremely accomplished, youngest American president ever at the age of 42, and a winner of Nobel Peace Prize, a boxer, a martial artist, all sorts of things. And he was one of the biggest practitioners of deep work. The amount of time he spent on his desk was relatively very small, but his concentration was extremely intense. And he leveraged the power of artificial deadlines to get a lot of stuff done in very short periods of time. And that's what you do. You create deadlines for yourself during your focus blocks and you try to hit them. That's exactly why I designed focus blocks for this specific purpose. So you can have deadlines and you can schedule your deep work and you can ritualize your deep work. Another key to doing your deep work is to become hard to reach. Turn off all distractions. Leave your phone outside your work area. Turn off email, Slack, IM, browser tabs, etc. Only make yourself available outside the deep work sessions. One of the easiest things to do is to turn off distractions, but it is one of the hardest things to hold yourself to. So it's very easy. Most people just live a life full of distractions. Now that is why I designed focus blocks, to ensure that your work is always distraction free. You are always living a life without distractions. That is super important in order to do your best work, in order to do your deep work. And the fifth key to doing your deep work is this. You must embrace boredom. You see, what happens with most people when you are working on something important for an extended period of time, especially if it is challenging or difficult, you might feel exhausted. You might feel bored. So what do most people do when they are exhausted or bored? When they're sitting in front of the computer or whatever, They seek out novelty, they seek out distractions, they check news, email, phone, social media, stats, work related stats, sales, whatever it is. As soon as you get distracted, that's what you tend to do. But if you want to do deep work, you must instead not do those things. You must make it a practice to just sit with the problem and let your brain process that problem. Embrace boredom. Don't seek out any novelty whatsoever. Don't seek out any novelty at that time when you are struggling with a problem or when you're working on a problem, because all of that novelty is just distractions. You see, when you embrace boredom, when you sit with a problem, that is when you come up with big insights. That is when you allow yourself to be bored, when you allow yourself to be exhausted and still sit with a big piece of work, still sit with that high leverage work, still stick through that highly valuable, highly important work. That's when you come up with breakthroughs. And that's why I designed focusblocks.io to ensure that you never run towards distractions when confronted with challenges in your deep work. Focusblocks.io is designed to force you to work through the problem or challenge till your focus block time is up. So it is exactly designed to ensure that you embrace boredom and do your deep work. Now there's another bonus element here that I want to share with you, which is to finish work by a certain time every day and take downtime. Why should you do that? Because there's something called Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time allotted to it. The constraint of time, when you know that you must finish your work by a certain time every day, that constraint of time forces you to do your best work during those deep work hours. The constraint of time leads to urgency, which forces you to do your best work. And there are many benefits of downtime. It gives you major insights, it recharges your ability to focus, and you stop living in the gray zone of never-ending work, never-ending phone, social media, email, IM, text message. Instead, you start living a more vivid and colorful life. You start living more life. You start living a fuller life. You start enjoying life and everything it offers. You see, I finish my work by 2 p.m. every day. Barring any meetings, I do my focus blocks from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I work out from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then another set of focus blocks from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then some overflow work from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And that's it. I'm done for the day. That is super important to live a full life and to do your very best work, because that constraint of time will force you to do your deepest work possible. Now, the question is, I have given you all these great insights on how to do deep work, but can you really do deep work on demand? I have figured out the solution. I designed focusblocks.io to help knowledge workers like yourself to do more deep work and to do deep work on demand. So let me tell you how focusblocks.io helps you do more deep work so that you can do your deep work every single day and achieve your biggest goals, and you can do deep work on demand.